And now, through the miracles of technology, please welcome the director of Ahed's Knee, Nadav Lapid, joining us. Joining us from the middle of the night in Paris. So, Nadav, I said in my introduction, and everything that I've read about this film so far mentions urgency. Even though I know you've been asked this before, it just seems so present in the film. And I'm wondering if you can just talk about that.
Yes. Hi, good evening. It's okay? You hear me well? Yeah. Great. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree that urgency is a kind of essential and key word here in this process. I mean, the script. I wrote the script in about 2 weeks and a half, just to put things in context. The writing of my previous films, of Synonyms, of the kindergarten teacher, took me of Policeman took me somewhere between 1 year and 2 years, and I think it's a kind of average time, I think, for kind of reasonable time for the writing of a script. So 2 weeks and a half was really writing in a kind of while boiling. I mean, I felt that I was boiling while writing, and I felt it in a way as if the script is already there and I should only type it on the computer. And even more than that, I think that the night before the beginning of the writing, I didn't imagine that I'm going to write this script, and I didn't imagine that I'm going to make this movie. I was in the middle of work about another project that never took place, and I guess will never take place. But I didn't. I mean, I had some reflection, some meditation, some thoughts about this whole structure, about this whole thing, based on the fact that the film is based on something on things that really took place several weeks earlier. But I didn't really have the intention to make out of it a movie. And even when I began, I thought that maybe it might be a short film, maybe it might be kind of installation. Well, a little bit like the guy in the movie. I wasn't even sure what's gonna. I mean, what's gonna be the final result. But then, as I said, like in 2 weeks and a half, the script was finished. Several months later, we went. Several months later, we were already in pre-production. Shooting took 18 days. Editing took 2 months. It's resemble to nothing that I knew before, and I think that in a way urgency was not only a description of the process, but I think that in a way it was the only truth of this. I mean, for me, of this film. And even there was something in its short process that forced us not to look around, but really to go forward, not to prepare any alternative path, not to take any security measures, and I guess it's something that maybe can be seen on screen.
I was going to ask you, in hindsight, or like with the distance of having done it that way, whether you think that there's something about that process that you want to carry forward with you, or whether it was sort of like a one-time possession that you might not be able to recreate.
In a way, I don't want ever in my life to make another film like this. I don't. Whatever it means, I like this film. I love this film, and I feel extremely close, and I would say even too close to the movie. I don't watch my own movies, but whenever it happened to me to watch, I don't know, 2 minutes here or there for a test or something like this, I feel as if the movie is inside me. It's in a way too close. But for me it was so, as I said, it was so specific, so singular, this process. It really fit, I think that it fit the result that you just watched on the screen. But it's a kind of, I don't think that I'll be able to shout like this anymore. I don't think that I want to shout like this anymore. I don't think that for me there's any use in if you shout in I don't know 10,000 decibels, it doesn't look very useful to try to shout in 12,000 decibels. I don't see any reason to get more naked than this, to be more frontal than this, to go more in a more direct way than this one. I think that every or you want to aspire that every movie and every moment inside each one of your movies is singular, but here it's really something that I think that for me, you do once in a lifetime. I'm not saying good, bad. You can love it or hate it, but something in the nature of the project. It's it was. I think it was also so much connected to the situation in which I was when I created this movie. I was totally myself and everything but myself at the same time, and I don't know. I'm totally. I don't have any one mystical drop in my personality, but I was during the shooting talking each day to the earth and to the sand and yeah, I think that there was something. I think that you can see it on screen. I think that for me, what you see on screen, it's like naked, above all, naked emotions or naked thoughts or naked ideas or naked words running from left to right and from right to left on the screen.
Given what you're saying now, this next question may be repetitive, so you can skip it if you want to, but your films all have autobiographical elements, but the last two have really had what you could call alter egos. And I'm just wondering if you can talk a little bit about writing an alter ego and the way that is and isn't you, and why that's something that you like to explore.
First of all, I think that although I think that in all my movies and also in this one, despite the urgency I've been talking about, there's something very, I wouldn't say calculated, because calculated is a terrible word, but there's something very premeditated and planned, etc. I'm pretty instinctive. Fundamentally, I'm pretty instinctive, and when I prepared myself to fabricate this movie, I watched again and again these videos, for instance, of Jackson Pollock, who's like running and hitting. So I think that it's not like that on a kind of theoretical base. curious to, wondering how would it look like to work with an alter ego, and then I start to create. But I think that for me, it's a form of rebellion against this, what I see as a kind of a prison of fiction. I mean, people often tend to speak about the prison of reality, but I feel that like that in a very instinctive way. I'm sure that almost more or less any spectator now in the theater could witness that there's something much more strange and chaotic and totally unclassified and bizarre in our life, much more than 99.9 films that we watch. I mean, you have the feeling that existence is so much stranger and wilder often than cinema, and I think that in a way, and I think in a way leaning my movies on real life. I mean, it enables me to justify also to myself sometimes unexpected narrative maneuver while saying, well, it just happened like this. So I think, it's in a way, it's a way to free yourself from this cage of fiction, and also I think it enables you strangely also suddenly to keep a very to keep a kind of distance, because basically you're always there and you're always too close. I mean, you shouldn't be afraid to take a certain distance, because you know that in a deep and profound way the movie is really inside you. And I think, for instance, in this movie, there is this kind of, I don't know, kind of cliche, I think, about cinema, about art, that you should always keep the right distance. I think that this movie never keeps the right distance. It's either too close or too distant. It's either observing the character from, I mean, I don't know, only half of his ear, or looking at Earth throughout the clouds.
Can you hear that applause? We're going to take a couple of questions from the audience now. Yeah, go ahead right there in the blue shirt. Yes. Mm-hmm. So the question is, can you talk a little bit about the use of the music and the use of physical choreography to that music and what it means to you beyond, yeah. Sorry, what was the?
Yeah.
Beyond instinctive choice. Yes, sorry, thank you.
Well, I would say that in my movies in general, but maybe here it goes even a little bit further. I mean, I don't think that it would be a huge surprise if I say that there's something in the use of music that is, I mean, certain people call this film a musical comedy, and I remember that even someone told me that the movie is kind of, for him, kind of Bollywood film, or he called it, I think, Tel Aviv wood film or something like this. And his idea was that, and I agree, that in this movie, people are singing and dancing their feelings, their thoughts, their ideas, what they imagine. I mean, you know, it's not like in these movies when there are like narrative scenes that lead you to a bar or to a club, and then but here, like, people, they talk about something and then they dance it, or then they sing it. So I feel that in a way the musical scenes enable people to 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 expose their existence, their true existence, or they give them a kind of mean to talk in a way directly, sometimes to the spectator, telling him, here we are, look at us. I mean, for me, there's something, you know, there's something in on this sense in the music that is opposed to the use of words, because I think that while verbally in the words in the movie are at the same time omnipotent and impotent. I mean, there's at the same time they are extremely present. Sometimes one might feel that they gain a triumph, but they end with a failure, with a feeling of incapacity, with a feeling of void. I mean, the main character is boiling from words. He's using all the words that exist in all the dictionaries on earth, and at the end he collapsed on his knees. So as a kind of, I mean, he's trying to say everything using, not missing one single detail, as if the slightest detail that you'll forget will make everything worthless. But in the end, as I said, it ends with a kind of, I think, feeling of failure. It's only you who's suffocated out of lack of words, as if you don't have oxygen. But and as an opposition to this, I think music is a possibility to declare yourself, to present yourself, and I think that there's something, I mean, you know, I mean, I don't know if I mean, I really can't classify my films, so I can't tell if they are accessible, not accessible, very accessible. I don't. I mean, I think that they're accessible, but I'm not the person to judge, complicated or simple. But I think that clearly they are not snobbish, because I think that they, in my opinion, I think that they aim to talk about every single human being on earth. So they're aimed to all the humans, and I think there's something in the choice of the musical pieces that in a way proves it, because when you hear this international pop hymns, I don't know, Lovely Day, Be My Baby of Vanessa Paradis. I mean, yeah, Vanessa Paradis, I mean, I was amazed by her when I was already 13 years old and she was 15 years old, and I always dreamed to make the universe dance to one of her songs. So I think that when you see them, I mean, they really serve as a kind of this mythical moment where humanity is dancing together. I mean, I don't know if people were moving a little bit throughout the screening.
We don't encourage people to dance in the theater, unfortunately.
Don't obey them. Do your own.
Of course. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for staying up late with us, and thank you so much for the film.
Thanks.